When was the last time your mechanic told you something that sounded right, but later drained your wallet? Picture a delivery driver, a rideshare hustler, or even that office worker who just commutes daily. All of them are quietly bleeding cash because of outdated car advice still floating around in 2025. Oil changes every 3,000 miles, premium gas for better performance, or the old warm your car for 10 minutes before driving. These myths have been repeated so often they feel like facts. But guess what? Believing them is costing drivers thousands they don't even realize. Number 17. Change your oil every 3,000 miles. Always. Drivers in 2025 are still being told the same outdated line. Change your oil every 3,000 miles no matter what. But here's the truth. That advice hasn't matched reality for over a decade. With today's engines and high-quality synthetic oils, many cars easily go 7,500 to even 10,000 miles between oil changes. Some models with oil life monitoring systems even push further. So why are people still stuck in the 3K loop? Habit, fear, and mechanics who profit from it. Think about it. If you're changing oil twice as often as necessary, that's hundreds of dollars down the drain every year. Multiply that over the life of your car, and you're throwing away thousands. The bigger mistake? Believing more oil changes mean better protection. In truth, you're just wasting money and creating more waste oil to dispose of. Would you rather follow a 1970s myth or the recommendations written by the engineers who designed your engine? Number 16. Premium gas will boost performance in any car. How many times have you stood at the pump debating if the extra few bucks for premium fuel are worth it? Here's the reality. If your car doesn't require high-octane gas, premium is nothing more than an expensive placebo. Modern cars are tuned precisely to run on the recommended fuel in the manual, not what looks fancy on the pump. People still think premium guarantees better performance or cleaner engines, but for most vehicles, it's just wasted money. Over a year, that could easily add up to $300 to $500 extra for absolutely no benefit. What most people miss is that premium doesn't mean better for every car. It only prevents knocking an engine specifically designed for it. And here's where debate sparks. Some drivers swear they feel smoother performance with premium, even in regular cars. Placebo effect or real improvement? Comment below. Do you believe premium makes a difference, or is it just a wallet trap? Number 15. Let your car idle for many minutes to warm it up. If you're still letting your car sit in the driveway for 10 minutes before driving, you're living in the carburetor era. Modern fuel-injected engines warm up best when driven gently, not left idling. Idling for too long wastes fuel, pollutes the air, and can even wash oil off critical engine parts over time. Yet so many people keep doing it because their dad or grandfather told them it's better for the engine. The truth? All you really need is 30 to 60 seconds on a cold morning to let the oil circulate. After that, light driving gets the engine and transmission to optimal temperature much faster. Over a year, that wasted gas can add up to hundreds of dollars, not to mention unnecessary wear. The regret most drivers face is realizing years later that those long idles didn't protect their car at all. They only drained their wallets. So let me ask you, do you still idle out of habit, or are you ready to break free from outdated advice and start saving? Number 14. All-wheel/4WD means you can stop better in snow. How many drivers in snowy states feel invincible just because they own an AWD or 4WD vehicle? The myth goes like this. If you have all-wheel drive, you can not only plow through snow, but also stop on a dime. The truth? A WD helps you go, not stop. Braking performance depends almost entirely on your tires, not your drivetrain. If you're riding on worn-out all seasons, no amount of fancy AWD technology is going to save you when the road turns into ice. This false sense of security is what leads to countless winter accidents every year, along with the expensive repair bills that follow. What most people miss is that good winter tires are the real game changer, not just the drivetrain badge on the back of your SUV. So here's a debate for the comments. Would you rather spend money on AWD or invest in top-quality snow tires? Because when it comes to safety and avoiding costly damage, the smarter choice isn't always the one with the flashy marketing. Quick reminder, hit that subscribe button and like this video so you never miss tips that save you money on your car. Number 13. You can replace just 2 tires, saving money, and be fine. Ever walked into a tire shop and been tempted by the cheaper option? Just replace the two worn ones, keep the others for now. It sounds like a money-saving trick, but it can actually cost you way more in the long run. Mixing new and old tires creates uneven traction, and on AWD vehicles especially, can strain the entire drivetrain. Imagine paying for a new transmission because you tried to save a few hundred on tires. It happens more often than you think. Even on front-wheel or rear-wheel drive cars, mismatched tread depth can throw off handling and braking, putting both safety and your wallet at risk. What most people miss is that tires work as a set. They're designed to grip, wear, and respond together. Cutting corners here is like replacing only two shoes on a pair of running sneakers. Sure, you can do it, but you'll regret it fast. So let's ask, would you gamble on half fixes or bite the bullet and protect your ride and your bank account with a full set? Number 12. Dish soap is fine for washing your car. Plenty of people still grab the bottle of dish soap from under the sink and think, hey, it cleans grease off pans, so it'll work on my car too. And sure, it'll clean, but at a steep price. Dish soap is way too harsh for automotive paint. It strips off wax, sealants, and protective coatings designed to keep your car's finish safe from sun, dirt, and salt. Over time, repeated washes with dish soap leave your paint dull, faded, and far more vulnerable to rust. The result? Costly paint correction or even a full repaint down the line. What most people miss is that proper car wash soap isn't just about shine, it's about preservation. A $15 jug of pH-balanced car soap can save you thousands in repainting and resale value. Here's a debate worth having. Would you rather cut corners with household products and risk long-term damage, or spend a little upfront on products meant for your vehicle's finish? Smart drivers already know the answer, and their cars look better for it. Number 11. Only the dealer can keep my warranty valid. How many times have you been told by a dealership that you must come back to them for every oil change, every brake job, every service, or else risk losing your warranty? It sounds intimidating, and thousands of car owners fall for it every year, shelling out premium prices for basic services. But in reality, that's a myth. In the U.S., consumer protection laws like the Magnuson-Moss Warranty Act make it clear, as long as you maintain your car properly and keep receipts, your warranty remains valid, no matter if you go to an independent mechanic or even do some jobs yourself. What most people miss is that dealerships thrive on fear. Their service departments are massive profit centers, and the "you'll void your warranty" line keeps money flowing in. But think about it. Why pay $120 for a basic oil change at the dealer when your trusted local shop can do the same job with manufacturer-approved parts and fluids for half the price? Over the span of a few years, those inflated dealer visits can add up to thousands. So here's the question for you. Do you stick with the dealer out of fear, or do you trust the law, your manual, and your own records to save big money? Drop your answer below, because this myth is one too many drivers still believe. Number 10. Bigger equals always safer. Step into any SUV commercial, and you'll hear the same message. Bigger is safer. It's a myth that has fueled decades of marketing and, in 2025, still shapes buying decisions. But here's the truth. Size does not guarantee safety. Yes, heavier vehicles can provide an advantage in some collisions, but they also come with trade-offs: longer stopping distances, higher rollover risk, and less agility in emergencies. Crash test data proves it. A well-designed mid-size sedan with modern safety tech can outperform a bulky SUV in key safety ratings. What most people miss is that design, engineering, and active safety features are far more important than raw size. Automatic emergency braking, lane-keeping systems, and advanced crash structures make a modern, smaller car safer than many oversized vehicles from just a few years ago. Yet drivers keep paying higher insurance, more fuel, and steeper maintenance costs under the false comfort that big equals safe. Here's a debate to stir the comments. Would you feel safer in a well-engineered mid-size car with top safety ratings, or in a towering SUV that looks powerful but handles like a tank? Because at the end of the day, the smart money isn't always on size. It's on science. Number 9. New engines don't need a break-in. Buyers of brand new cars often hear this. Engines are built so well today, you don't need to break them in. And while it's true that manufacturing tolerances are tighter than ever, skipping break-in practices can still shorten your engine's life. Automakers quietly recommend it in their manuals, usually suggesting the first 500 to 1,000 miles be driven with varied speeds, no extreme revving and limited heavy towing. Why? Because piston rings, bearings, and other components are still seating themselves in those early miles. Ignoring this advice won't blow up your engine tomorrow, but it can mean increased oil consumption and reduced longevity years down the road. What most people miss is that break-in isn't just about the engine. It's also about bedding and brakes, transmission parts, and even tires. The way you treat those first miles sets the tone for how your car wears over the next 100,000. Yet so many drivers push their new car hard right off the lot, thinking they're saving time, when really they're shaving life off an expensive investment. So let me ask, do you treat a new car gently because you value long-term reliability, or do you hammer it from day one believing technology makes you immune? That choice can mean thousands saved or lost down the line. Number 8. Transmission fluid is lifetime. Never change it. How many times have you heard a dealer or salesperson say, "Don't worry, the transmission fluid is lifetime. You'll never have to touch it." Sounds convenient, right? But here's the problem. Lifetime usually means the warranty period, not the actual life of the vehicle. Transmission fluid breaks down over time from heat and friction, and ignoring it can lead to one of the most expensive repairs a driver will ever face: a failed transmission. Replacing fluid on schedule might cost a couple $100. Replacing the entire transmission, easily $3,000 to $6,000. What most people miss is that skipping this simple maintenance task is basically gambling with your car's future. Even automakers that advertise lifetime often include fine print that recommends service under severe conditions. And let's be honest, stop-and-go traffic, towing, or even hot weather qualifies. So the real question is, would you rather spend small money now or risk a massive repair bill later? If you're enjoying this breakdown, subscribe and give this video a like. It really helps the channel grow. Number 7. Running your tank to empty never causes damage. Some drivers pride themselves on stretching every last mile out of a gas tank. They'll say, "It's fine, the car will tell me when it's really empty." But running your tank too low is more dangerous and expensive than most people realize. Modern fuel pumps are cooled and lubricated by the gasoline itself. Let the tank run too low too often, and that pump is forced to work harder, sometimes overheating, leading to failure. A fuel pump replacement can set you back $800 to $1,500. On top of that, debris and sediment at the bottom of the tank can get pulled into the system, clogging filters and injectors. What most people miss is that staying in the reserve zone frequently shortens the life of components designed to last years. Sure, you might feel clever squeezing out an extra 30 miles, but those savings vanish the moment your pump quits. So here's a thought. Are you saving pennies at the pump or risking thousands in repairs just to gamble on an empty tank? Number 6. Fuel additives always improve mileage and performance. At every auto parts store, there's a shelf lined with fuel additives promising cleaner injectors, better mileage, or restored performance. And many drivers grab them thinking it's a cheap fix. But here's the reality. Most modern fuels already contain detergents required by law to keep engines clean. Regular use of off-the-shelf additives rarely provides measurable benefits for the average car. Some even create buildup if overused. What most people miss is that additives are only useful in very specific cases, like fixing carbon deposits or cleaning a neglected fuel system. Otherwise, it's money straight down the drain. Imagine spending $10 to $15 every fill-up on a bottle that does nothing, when that money could go toward real maintenance like spark plugs, air filters, or even a proper fuel system cleaning from a mechanic. Over a year, you could waste hundreds. So let me ask you, do you actually believe every bottle on that shelf delivers on its promise? Or are fuel additives mostly hype with rare exceptions? Drop your take in the comments. This debate always gets heated. Number 5. Manual transmissions always get better fuel economy than automatics. For years now, people swore by manuals as the budget-friendly choice. Stick shift always saves gas. That might have been true in the 80s and 90s, but in 2025, it's no longer the case. Modern automatics, especially CVTs and dual-clutch systems, are engineered for maximum efficiency. They shift faster and keep engines in the sweet spot better than most drivers can with a manual. In fact, many automatics now outperform manuals in official fuel economy ratings. What most people miss is that a manual can still be fun, cheaper up front, and simpler to maintain. But if you're buying one strictly to save at the pump, you might be disappointed. Over years of driving, those few miles per gallon differences can add up to thousands. So here's the debate. Do you value the control and fun of rowing your own gears? Or do you prefer the proven efficiency and convenience of today's advanced automatics? Number 4. Turn off the AC. Windows down is always more efficient. This is a classic summer myth. Turn off the AC to save gas. Just roll down the windows. Sounds simple, but the truth depends on speed. At lower speeds, sure, AC can burn more fuel. But once you're on the highway, those open windows create aerodynamic drag that hurts efficiency even more than running the air conditioning. Drivers who cling to this myth often end up hotter, less comfortable, and still not saving money. What most people miss is that the difference is often small either way. The bigger factors are your driving habits, tire pressure, and regular maintenance. But here's where it matters. Over a long road trip, choosing windows down at highway speeds could actually cost you more in wasted fuel than just using the AC. So the real question is, are you rolling down your windows out of habit, or are you ready to accept that comfort and efficiency can actually go hand in hand? Number 3. Pump the brakes hard in an emergency to stop faster. When panic hits, some drivers still revert to old advice. Pump the brakes to avoid skidding. That made sense in the days before ABS, anti-lock braking systems. But in 2025, nearly every car on the road has ABS built in. And with ABS, pumping the brakes actually makes your stopping distance worse. The right move is to apply firm, steady pressure and let the system do its job. Ignoring this can not only lengthen stopping distance, but also cost you in accident damage, repairs that run into thousands. What most people miss is that ABS was literally designed to prevent wheels from locking while still allowing steering control. Yet the pump the brakes myth is so ingrained that drivers pass it down like gospel. So ask yourself this: in a split-second emergency, would you rather trust decades-old advice or the technology built specifically to save you and your car? Number 2, you should never buy a new car, always buy used. This is one of the oldest myths in car buying. Never buy new. The logic is that new cars lose value the second you drive off the lot, so you're throwing money away. While it's true that new cars depreciate quickly, this blanket statement isn't always smart advice. Here's why. New cars often come with full factory warranties, the latest safety tech, better fuel efficiency, and zero hidden problems. Meanwhile, used cars might save you upfront cash, but they can come with costly repairs down the line, especially if the maintenance history isn't clear. Add in the fact that interest rates on used car loans are usually higher, and that cheap used car can quickly become a financial trap. Buying new isn't always a bad move, especially if you plan on keeping the car for 8 to 10 years. The depreciation evens out over time, and you get peace of mind with reliability. The smart approach isn't always buy used, it's buy what makes financial sense for your situation. Got a car myth you've heard before? Drop it in the comments while we keep going. Number 1. If the check engine light stays on but the car seems fine, ignore it. Okay, let's be real. One of the biggest car myths out there is that the check engine light doesn't matter if your car feels fine. But here's the thing, that little light isn't just for show. It could be something tiny, like a loose gas cap, or it could be something serious, like a misfire that wrecks your engine if you leave it. The problem? Most issues start small and cheap to fix, but if you ignore them, they turn into repairs that cost thousands. A quick scan is way cheaper than a new catalytic converter. So if that light comes on, don't just shrug it off. Get it checked. Save yourself the headache later. And hey, if this helped you out, drop a like, hit subscribe, and share this so your friends don't fall for the same myth.